Soldiers for Liberty. Your next speaker grew up on the West Coast, living the feel-good, life is free attitude. He has lived in Michigan for just a couple years now. He has dived headfirst into the cause of liberty, and now he is running for your first district for U.S. Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ben Boren.
My name is Ben Boren. I am not a politician. I'm only here because the federal government and the decisions made by the generations past have forced me to be here. I am very honored to be here. I'm very grateful to be here. I never expected myself to be in this position. I never wanted to be in this position. I wanted to live my life. I wanted to have a good time, and I wanted you to live your life. But here we are. The year is 2020. We are $30 trillion in debt. There is no end in sight. We're doing everything we can as the Libertarian Party to change things. We have to change the culture. We have to change the way that we address things. We could already say without a doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt, that the government cannot answer the needs of the people. The people can answer the needs of the people. That's why I'm here. I believe in the individual. I believe in the human race. I do not believe in dropping bombs. I know that we have over 500 military bases in over 130 different countries. I know that we're spending over $1 trillion every year on our military defense, which is more than the next 7 countries combined. My congressional campaign, I'm running for the 1st congressional district in Michigan. Boren, B-O-R-E-N-F-O-R, Liberty, borenforliberty.com. What we're doing there, we got a lot to do. My other candidates have already raised and spent $150,000 combined. We will be running an actual fiscally conservative campaign. And what I've done is I've recruited some of the best minds of my generation to help me. And I'm so blessed to have these people with me. It's the Andrew Chatterdons, it's the Ryan Roberts, it's the Dan Bowlings, the people on my campaign with zero experience just like me, because I'm not a candidate. This is my very first time doing this, but I'm here because I'm answering the call, and I think you will as well. None of us have experience, and it doesn't matter, and that's what we've proven. We've already navigated the FEC, we got our EIN done, we've got websites built from someone that didn't even know how to build a website, but dang, he sure did a good job. And all these things can be accomplished. You don't have to be a politician, and you don't need the money to stand up to corruption. You just need the will. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in individuality, and that's why we're here. When I joined the Libertarian Party, it was probably about 2008 when I started getting involved. I had voted for both parties. I saw the fallacies. As a kid, I always questioned why, and I was always told just to hush, hush. Don't ask those questions. Don't ask the ones that actually matter. I did anyways, and I'm happy I did, because I found a family. I found a home in the Libertarian Party. People that would defend my ability to make good decisions and bad ones, and that's okay. Everyone has that right. If you're not hurting anyone else, then you have that right. And that's what we're here for. And that's why we're here. We're here to challenge the omnipotent state as the Libertarian Party. If you're not a member of the Libertarian Party, please join us. We need your help. If you are, and you just signed up, welcome to the resistance. We're here. We'll be here till the end. We're not going anywhere. Our voices will be heard. I never in a million years thought that I would be at the Flint water plant and speaking on behalf of such a monumental occasion. This campaign represents so much more than the people that are involved with it. This is freedom, and this is the last stand, and this is the last hope. Our vice presidential candidate, gosh, I have so much to say about this guy, but every time I've ever felt like I was losing my faith, if I ever felt like I wasn't in the right place. I always looked to him, I looked to what he was doing, and I talked to him, and he guided me along this journey. And without him, I wouldn't be here. A lot of us wouldn't be here. He's an activist, and he's now wearing the hat of a politician. And it's very great to see. Spike Cohen, for me, represents everything that I am and what I want to see in the change I want to see in our system. He is one of the most well-spoken people and the best messengers we could ever ask for liberty. I hope other people will see this. I hope other people will join us, and I hope that we can continue to carry the message of liberty. It's not up to me, it's not up to Spike. We have to be the best messengers we can. It's very important that we carry the message. It's an idea, it's not about us. But if there was one person that I could possibly put my faith in that is like my North Star and he guides me, his name is Spike Cohen, and he's done a lot and he's sacrificed a lot. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our next Vice President of the United States of America, Mr. Spike Cohen.
I'll be buried in my grave before I become a slave.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I can take this, right? I can hold this. Folks, thank you so much for coming out. After an opening like that, I better do a good job now. So, folks, thank you so much for coming out. It is an absolute blessing to be here in Flint, especially on the very day that we have seen the announcement of the $600 million settlement for the people of Flint as a result of the water crisis that has happened, which we're about to talk about right now. Because for anyone who says that government should be more involved in their lives, this crisis and what happened in this building behind me and what happened in the halls of power in this city and in this county and in this state and in the federal government are a perfect example of why the government should be less involved in your lives and why you should have more of your power back and more of your money back and more of your ability to make decisions for yourself in your hands. What got us here in Flint? For those who don't know, and for this crowd, most of you probably already know, but for those who are watching around the country, who are watching online and through media and everything else, let's just give a quick primer of how this happened. Starting in 2013, or 2012, the city of Flint got their water, or up until 2012, the city of Flint got their water from Detroit, from the Detroit water system. Rather than renegotiate the rates with Detroit, they were put under pressure by Governor Snyder, a Republican, and the heads of the state legislature, who were Democrats, to, instead of renegotiating their terms with Detroit, instead sign a contract with the KWA, which was a new stimulus program, jobs program to create a new, vastly expensive water pipeline that would provide water to different municipalities. In the meantime, they would open up their old toxic mothballed facility that they hadn't used in decades, that had been closed down because it was toxic, and get water from the toxic Flint River to supply their water. They were told by the experts that this was a terrible idea. They were told by the experts that there would be lead in the water. They were told by the experts that at a cost of roughly $140 a day, which is basically a rounding error for the water budget, that they would need to add an anti-corrosive agent to the water, which is what they do in Detroit, so that the water wouldn't be toxic and kill people. Instead, they ignored all of that and let the water start to flow. Within a matter of weeks, people were reporting increases in headaches and other neurological symptoms. Within a matter of months, people were dying. Also within a matter of months, companies like GM and other companies that were testing their own water immediately stopped using Flint water because they saw that the rates of lead and other contaminants were way past any kind of safe levels. They alerted the state and city officials, who did nothing. They didn't tell you, they didn't do anything. They just let the water continue flowing into your homes. What happened next? People started showing up to city council meetings and press conferences with jugs of brown and gray water, daring anyone who would like to drink it, and saying, this came out of our taps. Would you like to drink this water? In response to that, and in response to reports that we now know from both the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality and from the EPA, that the water was indeed toxic and had several times passed the safe rate for lead and other contaminants, your mayor got up, Mayor Walling got up and drank some water and said, oh, this water's fine. Now, his water wasn't gray or brown. It was perfectly clear like this. And he said, oh, this water's fine. I drink it every day. Everything's fine. They knew that was a lie. And they still continued feeding you the water. Even as the rates of stillbirths went through the roof, grew exponentially, even as the rates of death went up, even as every single indicator showed that this was unhealthy, and it was becoming where the general public knew it was unhealthy, they continued to deny it for years. And now look where we are. Now a $600 million settlement, which the people who have gotten that money deserve that and much more. They deserve far more than that. Yeah. But guess who's paying for that money? You are. Raise your hands if you've ever paid taxes. We won't pan to the people who say that they haven't, because that's none of anyone's business.